what's happening? It's your dude, the merciless Reese L. Black. Welcome back to the booth. Today I actually wanted to go ahead and speak about a video that somewhat went viral, which was kind of interesting, kind of an eye-opener, boy. There was I believe she was a lawyer on TikTok, and she made a video prior called occupations that men have that women should avoid. And it was interesting because amongst those occupations were like firemen, police officer, military, I think surgeon was also one of them. Oh, and pilots. Damn, how come the ladies don't want to date a pilot? Pilots are fly. I know, corny as hell, I know. But yeah, it was interesting that she even mentioned those, like, hey, and she did break it down on the reasons why those men may come off a little bit whack and why they get divorced the most. And that was pretty much really why she made the video, because I guess she wanted to go ahead and throw it out there, like according to her own cases, which men were being divorced and what was their occupation. And it was amazing how she did break it down. A lot of these men, they have positions of either, saving lives or having lives in their hands, like pilots. They fly people across the country safely and try not to crash. So I get that, but she also stated that a lot of those occupations have men with a tendency of being narcissistic. But what's funny thing is she put it in reverse. She had to make a video on one occupation, or what occupations do women have that men should stay away from. And boy, did she pretty much drop a banger. So what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and watch the video and, let her speak for herself, and let's go ahead and dissect it. This should be fun.
The most common profession that I see in the female parties in my divorces, and this is over 13 years of cases. Oh my God, I'm so nervous, is stay-at-home mom. Hate me. I know y'all are going to hate me, but let me explain why. Number one, when you're divorcing a stay-at-home mom, they are paralyzed with fear, and rightfully so, because their whole life is going to change. They are going to have to go back to the workforce. They're going to have to possibly move. Their finances are about to be very different. There's lots of things that they don't know financially about what's going on. And so they tend to stick their head in the sand and stall. And so the cases become very contested and very expensive. The second reason that I see that stay-at-home moms end up being the most common profession in a divorce is that I think there's a tendency, and this is completely my opinion, just based on my observations, they tend to focus so much on the children, and the husband focuses so much on career that first of all, they don't feel appreciated by one another. But the husband starts feeling like an ATM, and the wife becomes completely focused on the children, and they tend to grow apart. So I think that's why it's the most common. That's not hate, just an observation. It's probably my last TikTok. So see ya.
That ain't gonna be that woman's last TikTok. She gonna blow up after this one, boy, watch. She gonna have like 1 million followers after that. Let's go ahead and break it down. Now, first and foremost, she said the magic line. It was just her opinion, just her anecdotal opinion. Like she said, according to her cases, not everybody's, just her case alone. That's one of the things that she noticed, which women get divorced the most. Out of her cases, in her state, hey, her opinion, her experience, let's leave it there. Because we pretty much all know that you don't have to be a homemaker to lose touch with your husband. You don't. You could be a working mom, a working partner, and end up still, looking over your kids more than having quality time with your husband. We know that. This is what's interesting, because we have platforms out there where they are schooling women to become homemakers, either to the working man or to the high value man. A lot of men strive to have women become homemakers. They may not necessarily create the environment for them to be homemakers, meaning like, hey, are you going to be making enough to make sure that this household is sustainable under your one income? If you got it, you got it. Ball on player. But if you don't, it's going to stress me out because I'm the one that has to sit here with these kids crying that they're hungry. I'm okay, but the baby's got to eat too, and you talking about you broke, but it looks like you've already eaten, but we over here starving. Now, I'm not going to make it seem like the husband is selfish, but you guys see the point that I'm making. I did find it interesting that just knowing that homemakers are getting divorced all because of too much focus was on the kids. The housewife, too much focus on the kids. Now, let's just go ahead and stick there. You do not have to be a housewife. I'm sorry, you don't have to be a mom in order to be a housewife, is what I'm trying to say. There's plenty of women out there who are probably housewives and don't have any kids. So we're just sticking with the women where their main occupation, like she said, occupation, actual job, was being the homemaker, being the housewife. Job, taking care of the home, being a mom to the kids. That's it. Her job was to raise the babies, and we're just assuming these are babies. They're not in daycare, preschool, nothing. They just kicking it with mom until it's time for them to go to, kindergarten, because we're not trying to dish out money for preschool yet. That shit's expensive if anybody has kids. It is. Some of y'all lucky for paying $300 a week for daycare. It is, especially for a toddler. Now, when she was talking about how so much focus goes on the children, it's the housewife. She's the homemaker. So when dad is at work, when hubby is at work, this is her focus, which means that the focus must still be continuing as dad gets home, or maybe mom is burnt out. Dad is tired. He's at work, had a long day. He wants to eat. Check. He wants to watch TV with his beer. Check. Now when it's time to get to the bedroom, he wants to unwind with some sex. Gonna put an asterisk there because wifey is tired, and wifey is probably tired all the time. If anybody has babies, toddlers, they can run your day. They can run your day. I'm a dad with a toddler. He runs my day. Even though I don't get to see him during the day because he's in preschool, he's at daycare. When that boy come home, it's a track meet. And I have to suck it up and I have to play with him. But you do set aside some quality time for your wife. We're speaking in regards to where men are divorcing their wives because obviously for irreconcilable differences. Husband must want quality time. And now this is where we're going to get into these platforms where they talk about women need to take care of the home, be more domesticated, need to cook, need to clean, need to take care of the babies. Y'all must not have done any of that shit before. No, this is not even a Pandora alert. If anybody is participated in any domestic chores around the house, especially when I got off work, it's tired because even I contribute to my own household. It can be exhausting. It really can. So for a man to pretty much just divorce his wife because she's too tired, when was the last time that you gave her a cooling day? A day dedicated where you guys pretty much just have a designated day where she can take some PTO, parenting time off, where she can pretty much go do what she needs to do as far as relaxation. And dad, the kids are yours, or the kid is yours. Let's just assume, we don't want to assume that every household just has a bunch of kids. But in this case, she's tired. When have you pretty much paid for a massage for her to chill at? A spa day. When has that happened? Or just a vacation with just you and her, something earned, something deserving where she could get that energy back. When was the last time you guys got into the bed and you started rubbing her feet, rubbing her back and everything, rubbing her brain? Yes, mothers get burned out. I've even seen my mama burned out. This was something that men should stay away from. So men should not pursue a woman who has basically never had a job, never had to work. So if this is a divorced single mom, that means she's pretty much getting into the groove of learning what it is, how to work, learning how to fill out an application, things like that. We can't say learning how to fill out, do a resume because she's never worked. Her first marriage for like umpteen years is now over. All she knew how to do was raise kids. Maybe she could be a nanny. She would be qualified for that. But as far as getting to like retail or sales, maybe. But for us to just notice that, wow, this is the most divorced woman, that's kind of wild. Whatever state she's in, that is pretty wild, considering that a lot of us, when we hear about divorces, the wife works. Yeah, the wife got to kick in on lawyer fees on her end as well. But like she said, yeah, wifey who has no gig, never had a gig, yeah, where is she gonna get money for to like take care of these like lawyer fees or court fees that's gonna be thrown in her way? And it is kind of foul, where I'm just like, wow, these are a lot of inconsiderate men who just don't treat their woman to relaxation, especially if they're a housewife. So fellas, I know if you're watching this platform, you have a heart, because this is really not a bitches ain't shit platform. This is more of a platform where if you got that game and you know exactly what you want and you're interested in getting into a committed relationship / marriage, then you are a reasonable man. A lot of you guys out there will throw a stipend at your boo. A lot of you guys would go ahead and have that vacation plan for your boo, or that spa day for your boo. You're not just going to be like, okay, I see you've been taking care of the kids, but when you going to take care of my needs? I know you're not going to be like that, because you're going to feel for her like, I know you're tired. Let me go ahead and take the babies. Hell, you know what? Here's a plane ticket, or here's some cash. I'm going to book you a hotel room. I'm going to make sure they pamper you, take care of you, and you do you. Have a fun weekend on yourself. I hope you come back home rejuvenated and everything. Ladies, for you ladies out there that don't want to work, this is something you guys got to think about. So a lot of you guys will love to be homemakers. A lot of women have called in the platforms talking about they would love to like not have any significant bills after giving birth, after the babies. They would love to be a homemaker. But now they kind of gotta like really grow their radar on what type of man is really going to be reasonable, especially if you get tired of, too tired to give up that cookie, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to go ahead and throw that video out there. In the meantime, you know how I do. I'm out this piece. Good evening, Mr. Black.